1-inchers is the only way to go. Oh, we're doing
There's
it,
nobody
huh?
on there yet.
Okay.
Takes a minute for people to actually get on.
You good?
One person.
Ringing it in. Grab that blue shop tail, Tom.
Do we know where the blue shop towels are? Oh, here they are. She's almost ready to paint, guys. Once the weather's right. I said she's almost ready to paint, guys. Once the weather's right. Blue shop towel.
I'm glad you're live, but...
No, I was just telling them because I was walking through it.
Crap, we need more shop tails.
We have 2 rolls in the house.
What do you think?
Making it look pretty.
Well, just cleaning 20 years of dirt out of it. This car has sat for 20 years after having the motor built and some of the chassis redone. So, just trying to make it look less old.
Jason says she's my little deuce coupe.
I'd like to have a deuce coupe, little 32, that'd be cool.
Bill Edgar says my 64 Vet has been in the body shop for a year.
Yeah, quality is sometimes a long-term process. There's a difference between it being in there for a year not getting worked on and being in there for a year getting worked on.
Oh my gosh, Jason. Here comes the rooster.
Oh, it's Chubb? Mm-hmm. Oh, you say Jay? I don't know you by Jason, clown.
It's Jay Sooner.
Yeah.
I know, but I say
Chubb.
Jason. Yeah, Chubbs.
Oh, that's weird. There's no Jason here. I don't know who a Jason is. 30 years of friendship. There's no Jason. There's just Chubbs.
He doesn't know a Jason either.
So this car is set for so long. Even though you can tell motor's been rebuilt recently, obviously those are new valve springs and retainers and all that stuff. But it's set for so long that we turned it over by hand a bunch of times, and the distributor wasn't in it, they'd taped over, but we went ahead and pulled the tape off, and I've got a little homemade jobby that is basically a flathead screwdriver that goes into your drill end. And we ran the oil pressure up just to try to have a little bit of lubrication in a motor that's been kind of the worst thing in the world to happen to it, getting it built and then not touching it for 20 years. It's never even been fired off. I mean, there's nothing, so cam run-in time, all that stuff, nope. And, you know, of course, we're going to probably have people that say you don't have to run in a cam, but you'll have, most motor guys know it'll definitely last longer and you can set your valves better if you run the cam in. But anyway, this one's never had any of that done. It just was built, put in the frame rails, and left alone. It's because it's a crappy story. The guy passed away, and the family held onto the car for a long time, of course. It happens a lot. And the guy that we're helping, he has a shop down in Tampa, but he doesn't have enough employees to run the shop, so we're taking some of their work. So it's weird because, I mean, how do you charge another shop? You can't really charge them what you would charge a walk-in customer because they're giving you a lot more work. But you still have to charge them, otherwise it's not worth the work they're giving you. But anyway, whatever.
Bill told Glenn that 2 years ago he finished a Chevelle that was in his shop for 2 years. It was junk and now it's show.
Yeah, I mean, I in early 2000, I did a Duesenberg, which that's a freaking crazy car. I'm sure all you guys know. But I did a 32 Duesenberg, sorry, I think I just screwed that up. It was a 36, and that car, that was a 5-year restoration. I made lots of friends that some of them I'm still friends with, because it's a very small community, and you just don't. That car doesn't get built very fast, you know. So, and a lot of times shops, for them to make money, you know, they'll have 10 guys working in a 4,000 or 5,000 square foot shop. They'll have 10 or 15 projects. So you basically have 1 or 2 guys working on each project. If you have 2 guys, that's only 5 cars getting worked on. That are, you know, 2 guys working on each project. So it just takes a long time. And if a shop does one at a time, they're going to charge you a hell of a lot more money because they got to keep their doors open and pay their bills. And, you know, sometimes it's nice to be able to eat working on cars. So that's also has to happen. But, yeah, so it's tough. It takes a long time to build a car right, though. It's not an overnight process. Typically, a full frame-off restoration, doing everything, easy a year. It's shows like Overhauling and all that stuff. I mean, I loved watching them, and I'm a big fan of those people, and they all are great people, I'm sure. They really hurt the smaller community of shops because we don't build cars in 10 days. We build cars in a year or 2, not 10 days. That's not realistic in anybody's world. Usually a full frame-off restoration, even if you did have an entire shop working on it, I mean, if you got 10 guys working on a car, there's only so much car that you can work on, one. So no matter, you can put 50 guys, but still only 10 can get in on it. You're still going to be 3 months. And, you know, it's a lot of work. So I don't know what the other shop's doing to your car, but I don't stress too much. A year for a car to be in a shop, it sucks, and but it's...
Bill said the same shop did a 68 Camaro that was in real bad shape. When they got it done, he got first place at Car, Lisle.
You mean Carlisle?
Yes.
Is that what he's saying? Oh, shit.
I don't have my glasses on, so.
You mean in Carlisle, Pennsylvania? The big Chevy show up there? Is that the one you're talking about? Because that's a big deal to be able to be even competitive in those environments is a big deal. So that's pretty damn cool that they were able to do that. Yeah, that's probably a very good shop then. Again, I didn't mean to pick on the other shows or whatever, but it's just, reality is, today, this car is a perfect example. This is literally a motor's already in here, motor mounts are bolted up, tranny mounts bolted in, car's got most of the wiring in it, as you can see. It's a car that's mostly together. What?
Chubb says you're so mean.
Why am I mean?
Because you were making fun of the other places, but you...
Oh, well, I wasn't really making fun of them. But I'm not making fun of them. It's just, it's not realistic. I mean, it's not something that a shop can do at all. And unfortunately, a lot of people that aren't car people that don't work on cars, and I'm not picking on people that are car people that don't do restorations, but if you don't know, you don't know. So, you know, you watch a show and Overhauling's doing it in 10 days, and Pimp My Ride's doing it in 10 days, and somebody else is doing it in however many days.
Jason's laughing because he made you.
Yeah, I know. You made me feel bad. But it's BS. Like, it just can't, it's not a thing. And, you know, we don't have Discovery Channel money paying for a bunch of monkeys to be in a car. So it's just not going to happen. But like I was going to say, today's example, Zach and I got in here, put the car on the lift. Even because the car doesn't run, we have to push it in, and we have an incline in front of the shop. So seeing my fat ass push something in a shop is, I gotta make sure I don't have a stroke.
Well, that's how they
in the
knew you
middle
were
of
going live. I posted a video of it.
it. Oh Christ. So yeah, so that long way from the 888, Chubby.
And it's a one-man shop.
So, well, it's a.
That's what Bill said about the place that's fixed the cars.
Oh damn! Then that's one dude that knows everything about cars. That's awesome. And yeah, that's a year is still not. I mean, shit, dude. He could have your car for 2, and I still wouldn't complain. Because if he's doing a great job, he's doing a great job. That's all there is to it. But today, in a shop that has a lot of guys, we could have flipped this car around and pushed in here. It'd have been in and done and over, and swapped sides with that '67 Mustang. We would have had that done in 5 minutes. Instead, we had to get the Mustang out. We had to move these other cars. We had to move this car over. Him and I had to push it up in here. It was like 30 freaking minutes. And then we had to go pick up parts, which Zach's not here right now. He's at home having some food before he comes back. But, my wife and I and my daughter went and got parts, and we were there for 45 minutes because we got to find bolts and nuts and whatever, which this is kind of crappy. These are a bunch of grade 8s that we're using for valve cover bolts. Basically, if the car's in a wreck, that part of the valve cover will forever stay on there. It's a grade 8 bolt. It's really strong. It's definitely overshot. But it's all they had, and they're the only place open. So if I want to put these on tonight...
The guy that did Bill's car only does 3 cars a year.
Shit. Oh, that's probably a damn good shop then, brother.
Gracie would have already had it done.
Huh?
Gracie would have already had it done.
Gracie, our 16-month-old? Mm-hmm. Yeah, she would have. She finished it, and she finished shitting her pants, like all in the same day. No problem.
IAMMUSHSIM sent us a rose. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I can't say their name. It makes me sad.
What does it say?
IAMMUSHSIM. I'm a Mushsim. Do you want to see it?
Uh-huh.
By the blue.
Mushroom. Why does it make you sad?
Because I can't say their name to say thank you for the rose.
It makes you
Properly.
I thought you were saying it makes you sad, like it brought up a deep
No, because I
like,
can't properly say their name to say thank you.
Oh, yeah. My buddy Steven uses, when you see Mashower written out, it's funny because it kind of looks like that.
It's Steven.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
That's funny.
That's the only person I know that would have. All right, so basically our live is predominantly people we're friends with. That's really funny. I love you, buddy. So, anyway.
I love that I say it to you and you knew it immediately.
I was like, wait, that sounds like Steven. Oh, that's cool. So yeah, we're just going to try to get a 66 to where it's predominantly ready to run. Obviously, we don't have the carburetor for it. My buddy we're doing this for, he has the carburetor down at his shop in Tampa, so we got a parts run first thing in the morning to Tampa to his shop. And
Steven said he loves you too.
Aw. Yeah, we got a part.
You're making him blush, Steven.
We have a parts run in the morning, so I gotta go pick up. The last of the stuff for this thing tomorrow. There we go. It's very cold, so this is very stiff. Normally I can just one hand squeeze it. But yeah, for all you guys watching, Steven and I did a movie together. And
you're not blushing, you're just fluorescent.
Is that Chubb? Yeah. Yeah, I love you too. I may be fluorescent, but you're God damn it. But yeah, we did a movie together. I ran an old Mustang all over the countryside. Hey, look at that. Not pretty.
What is that stuff?
This is silicone RVT gasket maker. Oil, that is. Black gold. Texas P.
Oh my God.
Anyway. Yeah, this is just the good stuff. Oh, look at that. It's just finger painting. There's about 1,000,001 ways to do this, and everybody has their own way. Mine is finger painting. The only thing about it that really matters is don't get it in your in the valve cover, because it just there's a bunch of gunk in there banging around you don't need, and it can clog up an oil passage. And then always make sure you get the other side of your bolt holes. So yeah, see, look at that. You can run a really nice thin bead that looks way better than this when you're more professional.
Or when it's not half frozen.
Or when it's not half frozen. Of course, you know, I'm a Florida guy complaining about cold weather. It is, what, 35 or 38, whatever it is.
But we do have our heater on.
You mean our powder coating booth?
Yep. This is our heater. Real quick. It's our powder coating booth. But surprisingly, it takes the chill out of the air in the shop at night when we get out here.
It do. It do. Anyway.
Then in the summer, you don't want to powder coat things because it's too hot, so you do it at night while you're asleep. Look how pretty.
It gets better. Yeah, it gets better. You just keep messing with it. It's kind of like the guys that come in when we're doing rigging and we're wiring
For
people up and
movies.
stuff. And we always lovingly joke to the ones that aren't very good at knots, which I was that guy for years. But if they're not very good at knots, we always lovingly joke, if you can't tie a knot, tie a lot. So that is a thing.
Is that cork?
Yep. Sure is.
Are those always cork?
Yeah, because they're quirky.
Jason Chubbs, it said, nobody on earth knows more about cars than you.
Aww. It's a good thing we're no longer on Earth.
I kind of agree with you, Chubbs.
This is life on Mars.
Oh my God.
So anyway, ta-da. I don't generally put stuff on the other side when the motor's like this, because I could end up putting it all together and find out that I've got to set the valves or that something's not quite right. I ran through the valves today just to make sure that they were there. It seems like they're set pretty well, but until the lifters are pumped up, so I don't want to make a secondary mess for myself. So this right here is a great way to do it, because I don't have any RVT on this side. I'll put it on, it'll seal the motor up real good, and technically we can run it just like that. There's nothing wrong with it. But some people will put a little smear of it on this side. I do not. Because if I take it back off, I don't want that mess everywhere. So, here we go.
Frank shared our live.
Hey, thank you, Frank. Appreciate it. Very kind of you, sir. And put that over there. And so, yeah, this is, I hate to say it's temporary, but it's a little bit temporary. Because until I know that this is going to be what we want, these may come back off. If the lifters are making noise or if we've got some other problem. So, yeah. And by putting RVT on the other side, when we pick that up off of there, it's easier to clean up afterwards. And then also, when you go to put it down, you're not trying to fish around your gasket. Your gasket's stuck on. You're good to go.
Nandor the Relentless says that he likes it. He has a 71 AMC Javelin.
Oh shit, I love those. Did you see the one the Ring Brothers built? That was sick. They did a Javelin that is just wild. Of course, everything they built is.
This is a 66 coupe, right?
Yeah.
The 66 Cindy. Cindy Winzicki. Is that Mrs. Winzicki? From South Carolina? I mean, if it was, then she would have known me.
When you were a little bitty?
Yeah, because the Winzickis used to babysit me when I was itty bitty. I used to go play with their daughter, Georgiana, and stuff. No, the Winzickis were on the base. That's crazy. I want to go see if I can follow her now.
That's the life of traveling. You never know who we might come on. I know.
Yeah, he wants this car. He goes, I want it bad.
Who said
The Relentless.
that? Oh, yeah. Well, shit, dude. That Javelin is... I love those.
Cindy is from Ocean City, Maryland.
Oh, that's cool. We like Maryland. Maryland's
Well,
beautiful.
Cindy, if you know any Winzickis from Beaufort, South Carolina, tell them that blonde little Catherine Kiyonka said hello. That's funny. That's not a name you hear very often.
I hear it all the time.
You do? I hear Newman.
Yeah.
Newman!
Hello, Newman. Alright, so there's that side. And I'm not going to tighten them down or nothing until I get the new oil and shit in it.
Are you doing the other one too?
Yep. I'm doing it right now. These are our fender covers, courtesy of nobody, courtesy of our wallet. And just so in case anybody wonders, car's not painted, so it's somebody based it with this blue, however many 20 plus years ago. But I still don't want to beat it up or bang shit into it, so I'm not. I'm trying to be careful with it. Even though the car is going to get painted, maybe by us, maybe by somebody else. Who knows? Who knows? I don't know if we're going to have time. It's Bed Bath & Beyond, you know? So, anyway, got a little miniature mess going on here. It's always fun. See, this is the best part about Corvettes. They make this because you're always working on them. And this is where you hold your tools. Everybody knows that.
It is noticeably warmer in here now.
So your phone holder, I need to borrow that real quick.
327?
My wife is using brake cleaner to hold her phone.
I had to run in the office and use the restroom.
327 what?
Question mark. Cindy Winzicki about the car. Or maybe it's to me. I don't know. And Chubb said, Lil Home Depot? Question mark.
I love it at Home Depot. You guys want to go?
The people at Home Depot know Grace because she's been going there since she was in my belly. And they always ask about her, and we get the best customer service there now. Let's see. I'm trying to move the comment section up, and I liked our thing, so that's nice.
You did what?
I went to move our comments up. Oh, is the engine a 327 cubic inch?
Yeah, it is. It's a 327. It's got the double hump heads, but I haven't had it apart. I haven't checked any of the numbers on it, so I don't know if it's the 194s or the 202s. I don't know, but it's probably a 340 horse motor. It's not a 365 unless the exhausts are wrong, because it has the 2-inch exhaust opening at the bottom of the... You can't see it from there, my love.
I was trying because you pointed.
Well, yeah, I just meant the exhaust. The 365 horse ones have a 2.5 inch opening. These are 2s, so it isn't going to be anything more than a 340 for sure. But it could also just be that that's the parts they had, or it got swapped out in the car. It's 50 plus years old. So, all right, I need my air hose, and wherever I put the RVT, which I don't know.
Is that tube?
Yeah.
I can look for that while you get your air hose.
I put it up there. Who knows where it ended up? All right. Here is it under the car? Nobody knows.
Huh.
Fall down to a weird place. Who knows?
I will let. Did you put it in your pocket? Because you recapped it.
No.
Gonna put you right here so they can.
I did put it up there. I just don't know where it went from there.
I just need to get a new cell phone holder.
Hey,
Found it.
Remember what I was saying about our little toolboxes? Yeah, that's why Corvette built those. It's for a toolbox. Because you're always working on them. That and like I said,
The rim.
lip of the fenders and the firewall. Perfect for holding tools. I also explained while you were in the powder room that the car is, even though it looks probably decent on camera, the car is a good car. I don't mean that, but it's not been cleared. It's not a finished paint job. They based it, I guess, so that it would be blue. I never really understand when people do that because they based it and then assembled stuff, but there's no clear coat on it. So any painter out there knows that everywhere you touch it has now just created an entire exciting array of crap for you to have to deal with.
Mark Shorner would like to know what's on the intake.
Tape. We just had tape over the top of it so nothing will fall in there, and then some spark plugs that actually need to go back in there because we were setting the timing earlier. That's why there's a breakover bar, or actually technically a big ratchet, because I needed to get top dead center on a compression stroke, so I did that. We set the distributor in, so we've just been kind of doing pieces here and there. Yeah, good times. And right now, my shaky ass hands, I'm trying to put all this stuff on. I used to be much stronger.
Oh my gosh.
What movie is that from? Anybody know? Is Chubb still on?
He's still texting.
Okay. Do you know what movie that? You're my boy, Blue. You're my boy. I used to be much stronger.
Nobody's answered.
Chubb knows the
Oh wait,
answer.
cable drive, tachometer or 2-piece speedometer cable
That's
from
a
Cindy.
tactile distributor.
And Chubb said old school.
Yep. Old school, that's the one. You win a t-shirt that we don't have yet.
But you will be the first to get one mailed to you once we have them.
Or female to you, because we don't judge. Whatever.
Oh, you're definitely old school distributors.
Yeah, the car is a tack drive car, so in order to make the original gauges work, they do make a kit, I know, in case anybody starts to say something. They make a kit that you can run your tack drive distributor electronically, but this is not that fancy.
Cindy said that's cool to your answer.
Thank you.
on the two-piece or cable technometer.
You know,
Thank you, Ralph. Follow to the host.
oh, that's awesome. Thank you. Yeah, we don't, most Corvettes, especially the old ones, don't have two-piece Speedos. This is actually the Speedo for the car. It's not down there because I guess it was shoved up here for transport. But when we did a little inspection, it needs to be replaced. So that is supposed to be, let's see if I'm pointing to it. Yeah, what looks like a spider web or junk. I don't know what's
It
there.
looks like a worm or something.
Yeah, that is actually supposed to be fairly stiff and square and either metal or plastic. Actually, not metal usually, ever. And that's what goes into the worm gear in the side of the transmission to relay the information to the gauge to tell you how fast you're going. That's what makes your speedometer work. I know a lot of you know that, but for those that don't. And this one is so jacked up that you can't even tell. I mean, I can feel that it's got metal there, but that is, yeah, it's pointless. So that's got to come back out. So we just left it up top.
Thank you for the...
Sorry.
I said thank you for the follow again to somebody else.
Oh, awesome. That's our Tech Drive distributor. That's what it should look like. See the square? That's what the Speedo should look like also.
Oh, you can see it there.
Yeah, that's a hard metal.
A hard...
And then, actually, if you look in the car and look at the tack, it might be moving. If it works. You see the big tack?
Oh, it is!
Yeah. How many RPMs are my turning?
You are turning 5.
So yeah, that's what that does.
Cindy followed us. Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you. This is actually kind of fun.
I enjoy it. You're back on TV, babe. If anybody that's watching right now would like to know where you can see Mr. Newman here, you can get on Netflix and watch Six-Headed Shark.
Actually, that's on Amazon.
It's on Amazon.
Please, God, don't.
It's my favorite movie, and Court is one of the people on it. He was #1 in Shark Week for the most, what was it? Interesting shark death or something?
Because I didn't die.
I hope you guys are all Googling that movie right now.
Please don't. Actually, that movie gave me some of the most incredible friendships. We shot that in Cape Town and in South Africa. That was incredible. And in case anybody's wondering, I think I made like $600 on that, but I had to pay for my own flight, which was $1,200.
Tom Burns would like to know, he said it's a 327 cubic inch, but how many HP?
I have to guess because I didn't build this motor. This is a car that we got just to put together a couple days ago. But it's got the double hump heads. I don't know if they're the 194 valve or the 202s. I haven't looked at any of the numbers. I know I can go look at the numbers and figure it out. But you never know. Somebody could have swapped valves and blah, blah, blah. But the short story is I would guess it to be a 340 horse. So if it's a correct motor, I would guess it to be 340 horse. Now, I can say, just for my own suspicion, I looked to see if this was a numbers matching car earlier today when we first put it in, and whoever did the motor work decked the block. So for guys that build lots of horsepower, nobody cares. For guys that build original cars, that'll cause you to go into an absolute fit of panic and have a stroke and freak out and cry and probably kick the mailman or something. I don't know, but it's really awful when they deck a block. You pretty much try to do anything you can to avoid that because that gets rid of the numbers. So this car's VIN maybe matches the motor, but there's no way to ever tell. So that's gone now.
A P says, that's a nice big shop. I'm envious. I like the Gulf. He loves the Gulf sign.
Yeah, me too. I lived in the Middle East. I lived in Dubai for 4 years, and I loved it. The people are just incredible, and yeah. So I found that when my wife and I were visiting friends in Maine. We found it at a antique shop, and that and a door that I was determined to put on our office. It's not on the office, by the way. I was determined to put it on the office. Didn't happen. But that and a door came back in the back of our truck. So, yeah, I love the Golf. We have a '69 Mach 1 I'm building for my friend Pierce that we're doing a pretty wild resto mod on, and we're doing that in Golf colors. So it's the first car I've ever, all the cars I've built, that's the first one I've ever done that I get to do in Golf colors. So I'm pretty excited.
And Jason says, but Dad, it's Shark Week.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Chubbs.
I love you, buddy.
And Cindy says, some of the 50 and 60 series trucks had cable drive tech.
Yep. All the way back into, actually, the oldest one that I know of would be the Cords in the 20s. Some of those cars, if they had a tach, it was cable drive. So it's pretty neat. It is definitely a way more accurate way to tell what your car is doing. You don't have signal delay or any of that crap happening. You have an immediate answer to what your car is doing in the old RP and the M's. So I think it's cool. Little personal story, if anybody gives a crap. When I was little, my dad and I, and my mom and my sister, because we do everything together in our family. But we were at a car show, and a guy let me set in a 63 Fuelie, and my dad he's built hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of Corvettes over the years, and we've had a bunch of those, but not when I was getting older and really appreciated them as much. And this guy let me set in a 63 split window race car that was a factory SCCA, which that's according to him, so who knows. But it was a Fuelie, and when I revved it up, he let me sit in the car, started, I was like, I don't know, 10 or 11, and when I revved the car up, I was blown away at how responsive that car was. I mean, it was incredible. And that very same car, a couple years later at the show, I remember watching the tach on it again, and he had swapped over and done some other stuff, but he'd changed the distributor out and switched stuff out, and he no longer had tach drive. I don't remember what the story was, I was too little. But anyway, he no longer had a tach drive distributor. And I remember noticing, and then years later, in a 68 big block, we had a points distributor in it, and when you revved it, it revved really cool, and it doesn't change how it revs, but watching the RPM gauge is significantly more responsive electronically. I just screwed that story up tremendously, but whatever, it works. So valve covers are on as much as I'm going to put them on for right now.
Thank you for the follow, Tom.
Oh, thanks, brother.
You were right about the fan. Point it in, and it's blowing it all out.
Yeah.
But if you go out that way and come in, you can feel a noticeable difference between out there and in here.
Oh, that's cool.
Huh.
I wonder if Zach's coming back tonight.
Because it's 9 o'clock?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with a no.
Yeah. Last time you got here, it was like 9:30 or 10.
Zach!
Zach, come back. Jack. So, and the other thing, about going to the parts store, you guys may have noticed, for anybody that was super, super hawk-eyed, I have 7 valve cover bolts. So, I need 8. But that's actually a big reason why I'm not locking them down. But I wanted to get them set down on there so that my gasket stuff can live in its best life.
Oh, there.
And there is that. My wife got me one of those little coffee strainer thingies, coffee press, because when we're on set, that is one of the best things in the shop when we're building our roll cages or whatever the crap we're building. And I thought, boy, I'm going to use that immediately. I still haven't gone to get the damn coffee that goes in it. So it's still in the box. Pretty sure it's still sitting on the couch where I opened it.
By the Christmas tree?
By the Christmas tree.
That's
yeah.
still up?
Yeah, but we got to be fair. The Christmas tree is still up because our soon-to-be 17-month-old. Oh, that's awesome. That is a little too brittle to do its job. Old parts. That plastic case just fell apart. So the wire is holding. It'll do its job. We'll leave it there. But the plastic is... Oh, look at that.
You just broke it?
I just broke it more. So, yeah, that's... All right. Who needs plastic? So, anyway. That is on. That is on.
Keeps asking us to invite this FS Sport, ruined FS Sport, to go live, like nonstop. I wonder if they're asking us if they can go live. Never tried that.
Well, one thing we can apologize for is we're not tech people at all. Oh, you know what? Let's go on that side. Not that it matters. You got to make sure you have your left and right sided spark plugs in. Otherwise, your motor runs backwards.
Invite Tony Brown to go live.
Chubby, I really wish you were here, buddy. That'd be awesome. I don't know if Steven's still on. Probably not.
I haven't seen Steven on for a minute.
But I wish you guys were all here. We could hang out, have a shisha, chitty chat. Good times.
Steven's gone.
Was it me? Was it something I said? Do I smell funny?
And Chubbs is gone.
Oh, sure. I see how it is.
Cindy's still with us.
Hey, thank you.
Appease is still with us. John Curry's still with us.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Still have a
The
bunch of you
hot
guys.
boy. The shop boy. Oh, my God. Sorry. Robert, Rufus, ruined FS Sport. Oh, that's why they're asking, because he's on here.
Oh, that's
We should
awesome.
try and see if we can. Let's see what it does.
Cool.
Invite. Let's see what happens. We've never done this before.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. I haven't seen a cork gasket in over 20 years, says Appease. Appease.
That's funny. Yeah, they sell them. Generally, it's pretty much on the old small block Chevy or Ford. Big
This
block
is a
Chevy.
1966 Corvette Coupe.
Yep. You know, as you get older, it's really hard to move your hands to where they bend the way they're supposed to.
Oh, look who's here. Disgusting. Zach.
Did you hear us on a thing saying your name? Oh,
We gave you a call out. We said, I wonder if Zach's coming back. Don't, oh God.
I'm just trying to get him charged up.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice car.
So I got valve cover gaskets on it. I brake cleaned it, blew it out. I'm putting spark plugs back in it right now. I figured we can put the spark plug wires on. Yes, I could just let the car down, but then I wouldn't be climbing on it.
You still need a housing?
I'm impressed with how much Cindy knows about cars.
And I only have 7 valve cover bolts.
That's all you need.
Yeah, 7's really
The
all
new
you
guy
need.
at the parts store.
You can just weld it on.
So, I did. That's what I did. It's fun.
It's fun.
Smell it.
Did you shit your pants?
No.
Is it the heater?
Pizza.
Smells like pizza. Did somebody bring
Did I shit my
pizza?
pants?
I make a pizza.
God, I wish. Sounds amazing. Who's buying pizza, Zach?
Chubbs sent some from Kansas?
That would be awesome. Fat guy to fat guy right there.
Oh my god.
Fat guy 2.0.
4-speed or power glide?
It's a 4-speed. It's an M21. That I do know. They didn't actually make a ton of automatics in the C2s. It's way more common to see. What's wrong? Oh, that's awesome. So that's what you were smelling with pizza?
Yeah.
Cool.
I wonder if that's what, what's his name said he saw a spark from the other night?
That may be. Whatever, it's still working. Alright, so here's fun. Actually, it's not that big of a deal, I'm just kind of teasing. I gotta pull the distributor out to put the distributor gasket in.
Well, that's the thing you can't use, but I used to it.
What did you break?
He said, I just can't believe you guys couldn't smell it. I said, well, that's why you came, because we couldn't smell it.
I can't ever smell it.
What?
That means I never dealt it, because he who smelt it dealt it.
Oh my god.
There we go.
Did you pull the fuel lines back out?
Put your fuel lines back. There we go. Alright, now we have a gasket.
Wait. Hold down bolt.
What?
Did you get the hold down bracket for it?
No, they didn't have one.
They didn't?
No. They didn't have a hold down bracket, they didn't have the, I got carburetor,
Yeah, usually they have
bolts,
the chrome one. And
but I was looking for the ones that are actually shitload shorter than that, because I can use those sometimes in here, because it's just quarter 20. But they didn't have that. They had that absurdly long shit. I went ahead and got them because I figured we're going to end up probably using them, because that spacer is going to come off of there. If he has the original carburetor, that spacer will come off, because that carb won't fit on that with that spacer.
Hydraulizer,
So, oh, you can't really do it because she's got the fancy people's on.
yeah.
We're over here. We're just living the best life. We're only going to do this side of the car. It's fine. This car is a 4-cylinder, but still outrun. Well, not really a lot anymore, because 300 horsepower is pretty common. So, yeah, good times. Are you perhaps making a shisha? Is that what you said?
No, I don't want to get cold.
You don't have to open the door.
Just make a head.
Yeah. That's awesome.
You know, it's not nice to make fun of the cameraman
Or a woman.
or woman.
Oh, I also got the dipstick that's in there.
Oh.
That check valve's in. Your valve's been checked. I plugged this in, and this disintegrated. I mean, dude, you want to talk brittle? It's
Dual
it's
point distributor?
brittle. No, single point. Actually, it's funny you asked that. Dual point distributor is generally only on the bigger horsepower cars.
I'm gonna put this here, and then I'll.
So that's an excellent point, because that means this is probably not, well, 340 had single and dual. It's funny because there's a lot of standards that you can pretty much set your watch to. Like if it has this, it's this. If it has that, it's that. But a lot of times, especially in the older cars, it's like, oh, it must have been a Friday when they were building that one because stuff isn't quite what you think it's going to be. All right, now it's time to see if we can put together that very, very, very brittle tack drive. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to leave that until we know it runs. We don't need the gauge to tell us what it's idling at. Yeah, I'm going to leave that because that is really old and really brittle, and we could probably shoot some booger snot up there to lube that up too so it doesn't bounce all over the place and break. Zach's over here taking all of his own time. Whenever you're ready, we'll go ahead and put the car up. Sure. Zach does all the work in this shop. I just stand around and act annoying. Oh, so for those of you that heard me ask my beautiful wife to make shisha, living in the Middle East, I don't smoke, I don't really drink. I don't drink at all lately, since like, let's see, May. I'm not a person, I've never done drugs, I don't do any, I'm kind of boring. But living in the Middle East, my buddy, it's a really long story that I'm actually probably not going to tell, but my buddy asked if I wanted to try some, and through a little bit of good old-fashioned peer pressure, I said yes. And so, what are you doing, dude? Are you trying to watch what people are saying?
Yeah, what's up?
Oh, that's awesome. Sorry for the people that have been asking questions, because Kat's out on her mission right now. My wife is making our shisha. Shisha is the oldest way to smoke tobacco known to man, is what I've been told. It's 10,000 years old. There's actually hieroglyphs that have people smoking shisha. But I like lemon mint. That's my favorite. It's the only one I really smoke. I actually kind of get a little bit childishly pissy if somebody like, Zach puts anything but lemon mint in the clay heads because it screws up the way they taste. But I love you, Zach. So anyway, so we're making a hookah, shisha. And that's courtesy of all my wonderful friends in Dubai. I now have lung cancer. I don't. That was a terrible joke. I know. I shouldn't be allowed to be on live. I say stupid stuff. But it's okay. My brother died of cancer, so I can say what I want. Hey, you gotta laugh at it. If you have it, if you deal with it, my family has unfortunately had a lot of it, so we deal with it with humor. But anyway, if I offended anybody, well, grow up. So, what? Hey, no, it's serious. Don't do that. I know, I shouldn't say that stuff. Zach is staring at my wife. It's always good when you have no immediate response from the audience that I can read. I know you guys are probably giving immediate responses, I just can't read them. So, it just doesn't matter to me. I'll sit over here in my own space. Hey, Kat.
I want to know what other cars we got.
You should never leave me alone with this on and me nothing to do.
Narrate your thing.
Somebody wants to know what other cars we have? Yeah. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, let's get off the other subject.
Some people have moderators to watch and make sure that people aren't picking on them during their lives. I need to have somebody like that can mute you.
That's probably a good idea. So we have a 67 Mustang that we're doing rear quarters and a lot of rust repair. Not like a typical 67. The floors in it are good. Front clip's good, stuff like that. But the rear of it, somebody over the years had replaced it with 68 rear quarters, and then some period after that had to replace the quarters, but they only did the middle sections where the wheel well was, and all of it was just Bondo heaven. So, we put new quarter panels on from National Parts Depot, put a new tail pan on, and put the new valance panel on, and that's all welded up now. And we finished the wheel wells up just today. And then we've got a 55 Chevy, the Series 2 pickup that's all tubbed out. It's got a 496 big block in it, 555 horsepower. I've never seen that on a dyno, so I don't know if that's a true
This
number.
is a 66 fastback.
This is a 66 fastback, coupe or whatever. And it's, and in Corvette, I know Mustangs, if you say fastback, it means fastback. If you say coupe, it means notchback. Corvette's not the same way. In a mid-year, if you say it's a 66 fastback, it means fastback. If you say coupe, it still means fastback. So, never thought of that before until just now. That's funny. So, all right, are we ready to go up? Okay. All these pieces and parts are on, as much as we have for tonight. So, we're going to get this crap off of here.
A piece says they still love it, even though it's not a 68, but a 66. You're doing what? Putting it up?
Putting it up, start putting the exhaust on. Basically tonight we're trying to put as much together as we can. Just to, there we go. Will you put your hand in the middle of that valve cover, just give it a little push? There you go.
Well, our heater's down to half a heater, so it's going to get cold.
Oh, is it? Alright, go ahead.
I can actually get a little heater out of the office. I think we still have one more in there.
Huh?
I think we have one more little heater if you guys want it by you guys.
Well, we have that propane over there.
Do we have propane in it?
It's full.
Oh.
And I've got a 5-gallon deal in there. So we can break that out. Okay, I realize if anybody's watching this up north, they're going to laugh at us. It is cold. It's like 40-ish.
You can see your breath.
It's not freezing. Not yet. I'm just a big wuss and really, really, really hate the cold weather. Really hate the cold weather. Player.
Let them look at you from that angle.
The player. Yeah, I didn't walk right out of here without that. But I did return the gas struts from Tina's vehicle, and so that helped. Alright, so if you want to grab one of those, let's set it up here, and we're going to need to, no. Are we sure? Yeah, probably. Looks like it's doing, here we need to put this. Let's see here, that goes this way, I believe. Let's see. Sure, yeah, that's the way. Wow, that is really tiny.
That seems right.
That is definitely not right. That has to be the one. Winner with a dinner and some chickens. This is not just. Hey, we can make it side exhaust. Trying to sneak up on this exhaust system and make sure it works. I don't want to let it know that we don't know what we're doing. I can say fun of them.
Yeah,
What?
that's not a cat job.
She's trying to take the kerosene heater I have up over there. She's like, yeah.
Whatever. I'm gonna go off live for a while.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, thank you. All right. As tight as that's gonna